I think this is a very interesting pick, Blake Corum coming off the board, because we could talk about it as much as
Blake
possible.
Corum's off the board. Okay, yep.
But phenomenal 2 years ago, gets hurt, not as good, not as much pep in his step. And I don't know if that's, and Damien, you could probably talk to this best, is that fear of getting hit? Does that ever come out of your mind? Is it what does he have that just wasn't clicking as much this past season?
I think anytime you have a significant lower extremity injury as a running back, in football in general, but especially as a running back, you get a little conscientious of guys rolling up on you, guys tackling you, especially a guy like him, right? He's low center of gravity, great contact balance, very agile on his feet. You're gonna dive at his legs. You're gonna dive at his feet. So maybe I don't want to sit here and make excuses for the guy because he was cleared to play, and you have to get yourself back to playing shape. But to your point, Harmon, sometimes that takes a little bit of time, right? Especially with lower extremity injuries. I remember Adrian Peterson, which granted that's that's all day AP. I'm gonna preface it by saying it's all day AP, but he had an ACL tear and he came back, and I think he almost ran for 2K the following year.
He did, yeah, MVP.
And again, I'm saying that's all day AP, but it's possible, you know what I mean? Even if it's after a year of not being as productive, you get time with professional trainers, you get in a professional strength and nutrition staff. Maybe, they can help get him back to where he initially was.
He was certainly productive, though. I mean, it's not like he fell off a cliff.
That's the thing, because that's why I still have a lot of faith in him, is because even though it looked like he lost a step, he was still productive.
Another thing too, nobody was facing stack boxes like the Michigan running backs. Right? Everybody's like cram everybody in.
Not for nothing. Like when I saw him at the national championship game, and we talked off on the side for a few minutes. A, he's an impressive kid when you talk to him, but B, he was limping. Yeah. Like he had a noticeable, just walking around at the championship game, you could see that he was walking gingerly, let's say it at least. So like, I just always wondered, is he really 100%?
I straight up had an evaluator say that meniscus, he's like, when I watched 2022 and I watched 2023, I thought he was a tougher tackle. At the contact point inside the first yard where he's running and he starts to get contact, a tougher tackle in 2022 than he was in 2023. And then the explosion, he said, I thought he still had the one cut and go. He was like, but the explosive element of it was a little bit different in 2022 and 2023. He thought, I think it is, as Damien says, it was a little bit of the mind, the meniscus, like, okay, it's just like he thought maybe this is affecting him mentally, and a team is going to draft him, and there's a chance that his real I am back, I'm where I was in 2022 year is the 2024 season in the NFL.
I just don't know if Michigan felt that way, because they gave him more carries this
season. I don't think Michigan gave a damn.
One thing I will say is I feel like the things that Blake Corum is, I should say, lacking, for a lack of better words, in the 2023 season, Kyrien Williams has all of that.
Yeah.
All of that. Yeah. The explosiveness, the contact, the strength through contact within a yard, initially getting contact.
Well, he'll be a complimentary player, for sure.
And what I mean by that is, we talked before, and granted it was with Dallas, we were talking about, what if Zeke has a reunion with Dallas, Blake Corum ends up there? That might be a good matchup. That might be a good 1-2 punch. I see Kyrien Williams and Blake Corum as an incredible 1-2 duo. I feel like they have a little bit of similar play style, but I feel like what Blake Corum has maybe lost a little bit as far as athleticism, I feel like Kyrien makes up for that. And I feel like when it comes to just overall consistent production that Blake Corum brings to your team, Kyrien Williams, he had a great year last year, but he's kind of like, that was a good year, but I want to see more of Kyrien Williams, you know what I mean? And in a league where, what if he doesn't have as great of a year? He might have a good year, but what if he doesn't have a great as of a year? And then you have a back like Blake Corum, who's very solid, who's going to get you what you need, and I think it's a good tandem.